Okay, so the recording just started. So I'm gonna say it again. We have 24 pairs trending. So yes, as you guys can see, yesterday we had a lot of arrows already. Uh, I don't trade on Mondays. I don't trade SIFI on Mondays, so I don't even look at it whenever I see an arrow or on my phone. I've got a lot of people messaging me, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? But if you're gonna send me a message on Monday about sci-fi, what do you think about this? The only thing I'm gonna say to you is don't trade sci-fi on Monday, right? There's a reason why we don't trade on Monday. It's statistically proven that you're probably gonna lose more times than win whenever you take the trades on Monday. Which doesn't mean that some trades might not be a winner, but why would you give yourself the stress of having to make up of having to win profits back on Tuesday because you lost profits on Monday that you shouldn't even have lost? So less is more, guys. Really important. As you guys can see, we had a lot of arrows, all light shades. We had a dark shade on see Chef, I see. So this one. GBP light shade. AUDJPY. Very nice. Some people might have taken this one. I do understand if you're trading a light shade, but get JPY. That's a good sign, guys. If you have the Monday popping like that, that's gonna mean that we're gonna have a good week. All right. So for educational purposes only, I'm gonna show you guys how to trade sci-fi for the news people on this pair from yesterday. Oh, it was on a Monday, so the first rule is always to not trade pairs on a Monday. So I did not take this trade, but you could see it as an example, right? So the first thing you need whenever you trade sci-fi is a dark shade arrow. The second thing is a 2-day pullback. The third day is M or W. Now, if this is Chinese for you, then please watch the bootcamp and you will understand this a little bit more. And if you've watched the bootcamp and if you have any questions about it, just drop it in the chat and I'll try to answer it. Now, what does a dark shade look like? Really, really easy. This is a dark shade arrow, een donkere pijl. And this is a light shade arrow, een lichte pijl. We only trade dark shades because they are more accurate than the light shades. I know some people trade the light shades, but that's a completely different strategy. So you can do whatever you want. I'm just not your boss. I'm not gonna tell you what you need to do. If you want to trade the light shades, that's completely up to you. I only focus on the dark shades because that means that I only need like 2 or 3 trades a week, and then I'm good. So needing only 3 trades a week and being good is like heaven. You only need to spend like 2 hours, 3 hours a week on the charts in order to make profits, which is actually insane. So dark shade arrow. Next step is a 2-day pullback. Where is it? It's gonna be, yep. So 2-day pullback consists of the price pulling back for 2 days. Of course, this is one day. This is 2 days. I don't think it's a complete 2-day pullback, to be honest. The price to pull back, guys. Can you drop it in the chat? I can't see the chat though. Here. Does anyone know how many bars price has to step back, has to pull back before we can enter the trade? 96. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So two reasons that you shouldn't have taken this trade. Not a full 2-day pullback, and it's a trade on a Monday. But imagine that this was a 2-day pullback and this was not a Monday. Then the third step would be the M. So if this was a 2-day pullback and it was on a day like today, I would definitely take this one with this M. So as you can see, we put our entry, stop loss above the high. It's gonna be about 30 pips. At a 1-in-1, you go break even. Okay. So it's gonna show each and every single one of you how. Oh, can you guys still hear me? Do a thumbs up if you can. Yes, okay, okay, okay. Because my laptop is a little slow because my battery is dying. But yeah, just gonna show you guys how to everything from how to place a trade to how to use the SIFI system, how to do risk management, and stuff like that. But it's gonna take a whole week, and I'm not gonna take too much of his time because I know he's probably gonna need a little more than 15 minutes. All right. So give it up for Jens, guys. Jens has been trading for 5 years, more than 5 years with us, and is here every single morning on the call. So drop some love in the chat because I know that he's running like crazy. He's doing events every single day, and he still wakes up at 7 to do these calls. So drop some love in the chat. Drop some fuego in the chat. And without further ado, Jens, do your thing.
All right. All right. Can you all hear me? Maxime, can you make me full host? I think that's gonna make it's gonna be better. But thanks for opening up the call. Amazing. Thanks, man. Opening up the call and going over that first setup of the week. Of course, I got like 10 messages as well. Hey, what do you think of the setup? Da da da. And I'm like, Monday is trap day. So Monday we don't trade. Um, and there are a lot of reasons for that, but let's just say statistically, on Mondays they'll have more losing Mondays than winning Mondays, and that basically, it can play with your psychology in the beginning of the week. Whereas you will, if you have a loss on Monday and you're gonna revenge trade on Tuesday, then you're just fucking up your week. You don't want to have that. Now, first of all, congrats on everyone here because we have 100 people on the call. That's amazing to see at 7:45 in the morning on a Tuesday. Um, I don't know if there are people in the that cannot get in because it's possible that the call is maxed at 100 people. I haven't seen a number that's higher than 100, so we might have to double check that. If someone can keep an eye on the Forex chat for people that are not able to enter, then we'll make sure that we don't have that limitation tomorrow. But we'll see if that's needed or not. And I'm gonna dive right into it. So something that's very important this week is we're doing a full bootcamp, right? We have a recorded bootcamp that's about 40 minutes. In Dutch, it's in 5 videos. In English, it's one video. It's super, super simple, right? And I'm gonna close my window. Give me a second. The neighbor's dog is going crazy. Anyway, so we wanna go deeper into a boot camp where it's not just pre-recorded with examples, where we really go into the market and look at what's happening today, tomorrow, and the rest of the week, right? And I believe this week, since we have 24 trending pairs, it might be an interesting week to do that. Now, before we go into any of this, it's very important to know, where do I plug in? So for all the new people on the call, or for the people that are looking to plug themselves in again, it's very, very key that you go to the Innovators Club website, right? This is our plugin system. And basically you click on the Get Started page. On the Get Started page, this is your full-on roadmap. Okay, I'm not gonna go into detail on everything, but a few things are very, very important to go through. And the first thing is, of course, your goals and your why. When you click this, you'll have some videos that are very important to give you the right direction before you start a trip. Before you start, before you hop in the car, I see some people are in the car. You know exactly where you're going. And maybe this is a trip you do every day, but still you know exactly where you're going. Because if you wouldn't put it in the GPS, chances of you being on time where you want to be is not gonna happen, right? So that's very, very important that you have the exact roadmap or the exact destination where you want to go. So then we can build the roadmap towards that. So you can put it in the GPS to work towards it. And that's very, very key. So that's where we talk about the why, the goals, and everything about that. Then, of course, the events. Who liked the Super Saturday last weekend? Who had some value, some energy of that? It was crazy. It was insane. One of the best events I ever saw in the last 5 years. Now, in 5 years, I have not missed a Super Saturday, right? And that just shows my commitment towards Super Saturdays. And I can only tell you guys to do the same. Okay. If there is one thing that we could make like this is something you have to do, we cannot tell people what to do. But if we could, I know most leaders would say events is the must do thing, because at events is where you make a decision, whether it's for a business, whether it's for trading, whether it's for anything, because that's where you get inspired, because you see people live that are doing what you want to do, that are living the life you're dreaming of, and they just show you exactly how they did it. They will help you do it. The only thing you want to do is duplicate the exact same process to then win. Okay. And of course, our weekly team call and your schedule. Okay. Schedule and incentives. I believe every week you want to schedule out your week and make a schedule to success. Because if you don't start your week with the right intention, then what are we even doing? Right. Put the one in the chat if you have your whole week scheduled out with everything that you know you're going to do to get closer to your goals. This can be trading, business, the gym, family dates, because you have a goal to grow closer to your family, like whatever it may be. But if you have a goal on some area of your life, and you should, then you want to schedule that in. Because a lot of people have big dreams, and dreams is something you sleep on, right? But once you have a goal, this is something you can work towards. Then, of course, step 3 is master the basics. This is pretty simple, but very important when it comes down to trading. So we're going to go deeper into the foreign exchange example, but every academy is basically the same build-up. And you click on master the basics. Once you click, you just watch every single video on this page. It will probably take you like an hour or something. But going through these videos, it will show you how to go through EOVIA. Right here, you will go to the basics. So very important to read whatever it says here, right? Go to this link. So what you do, you click on that link, right? You log in, you do the thing, whatever, and you go to the foreign exchange course. Okay, how to place a trade. We're going to go over that in a second as well, because I want to show some more into detail. But actually, it's already here, 6-minute video. So those are the basics you definitely want to watch on risk management, broker research, etc., etc. And now we're actually at step 3, right? So this is the first 3 steps of our get started system. Now, from there, what you want to do is you're going to schedule a call with your coach, with your personal, gold or platinum upline. The person that invited you here will connect you with someone that has more experience, okay? That knows more people within the community and that has seen more people go from A to B. So what they will do is, based on your goals and based on your basic knowledge now, we're gonna make a plan to get you to your goals. And then from there, of course, you will start learning the exact strategy. Now, those first 4 steps, You can do this in the first 24 hours. This will take you like 2-3 hours of focus work, right? I always say the faster you do that, the better, because that's the launching process of launching yourself inside of this business. And then from there, you can really start studying the strategy. Okay. Right here, exactly that. You pick your academy, you go to the strategy, you check the boot camp, and you start practicing with a demo account. Okay. So, what does that look like? Let's say I do Forex. I want to pick my strategy, and we're trading with one of the scanners because we are trading SIFI. And then you just click SIFI. And right here, you will have the full-on bootcamp. In Dutch, it's 5 videos, like I said, of how the strategy works. Of course, we have an English video as well. That's just a 5-in-1. That's one short video. And then this is very interesting. Okay. Now you know all the details of what you need. We also have some extra resources. So when you click on this ebook, you can check out the resource hub or the resource thing, right? Let me check. Yes. So inside these resources, it will directly go to the ebook. And you can read through the ebook. I'll be updating that shortly as well. So, keep your eyes open for that. We'll be updating the ebook. But if you click back on this in the left-hand corner, you will go to the full-on workspace. There is like a 3-minute video that explains what we do in this workspace. But as you can see, we have a journal template and we have a track record. Okay. Inside this track record, you can see the results that SIFI has produced with us over the last few months. Okay. So that's basically it. And that's the plugin when it comes to SIFI. Put a 2 in the chat if that's fully clear. Cool. Amazing. Something that's very important is what I would do is I would just study this website. Study the website of Innovators Club. Study the website of Yoga. Just click on everything. Go through it. Get familiar with the website so you know, like, when you click on the hub, for example, you'll see, hey, here's a business launch. Hey, here's a library. Hey, we have recorded team calls. Cool. I might watch one of those. Right? So those things are very, very, very powerful. But if you never take a look at the website, you'll never know it's there. So make sure to really study the website when it comes to that. All right. Then, of course, when we're looking at SIFI, you all still see my screen, right? Yeah, you do. Cool. When we're looking at SIFI, we have this Euro CHF trade. And the only confirmation or only thing that was right here is the M and the arrow. We did not see the 2-day pullback. We did not see what we wanted to see. But I'm going to use this example to show you guys, because that's what I want to show you as well, is how do I place a trade? And let me just join with the phone on this call.
Recording in progress.
No. Let's start. Here we go. Amazing. Sorry for that echo thing. I'm going to make myself co-host so I can share my screen on the phone. That's going to make it easier. But how do we place a trade? Here we go. Co-host. Yeah. So how do we place a trade and how do we calculate our risk? Now, basically what you can do is you can go to the calculator and you can fill in all the information, right? So let's say you have a setup. Let's say you're shorting Euro CHF. Now, don't go and short Euro CHF, guys. Don't do that. I know you guys, you're hungry. And as you can see, what's important when it comes down to shorting a certain or even when you're taking a long, it doesn't matter. But when trading, you need to know how big is my stop loss, because inside this stop loss, you want to put in your max amount of risk. So let's say you want to risk 2% per trade. what do you want to do? You want to make sure that if your account is 1,000 euros, for example, that there is only 20 euros at risk here. Now, if your account is, 100 euros, you only want to have 2 euros at risk. If it's 10,000, you want to have 200 euros, you get the point. But how are you going to do that? You need some setting, some way to put that in, to tell your broker account like, hey, this is the size I want to go in with because I don't want to lose more than 20 euros on my 1,000 euro account, right? How can you do that? You can do that two ways. You can go to the calculator and and just fill the whole thing in. So $1,000, 2% risk, and then this will take the entry and the stop loss. So right here at the left, you can see the number, right? So let's say 0. What's the entry? 94071. Where did I find the number that I just typed? I find it right here. That's my entry, right? Right here is my stop loss. So what am I going to do? I'm going to fill that in. 0.9435, whatever. It's not typing. Where's that? 071, that's the entry, and then 0.94356. And then I can click calculate and it will give me a lot size. Okay. Now, the other thing I can do, and this is basically how I do it, is I use MetaTrader 5 to trade with. Now, the broker you use might be any broker, but most brokers, you can log in to the trading platform of MetaTrader, right? And what you want to do, so I'm going to share my other screen. I'm going to share my phone and make sure that we're still logged in. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Oh. Yes. Cool. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your time frame is the right time frame. What's the time frame I have on right here? The 1 hour, right? At the left hand corner, you can see that. So I will change that to the 30 minutes because that's what I got on SIFI. Now, the entry of this trade, I'm gonna double check and take a look. The arrow that we had on this trade was basically on this candle right here. I don't know if you guys can see the cross. I think you do. That's where we had the arrow. So the arrow is somewhere about right there. Okay. So what I will do is at the right hand corner, you can see the clock, right? I click that clock thingy and then my order will appear. This is the clock to putting a pending order. If you watch the basics, you know what a pending order is. If you didn't, then go watch the basics. And you just put that on where your entry would be. Okay. So this automatically becomes a sell limit. As you can see, if I hover it above price, it becomes a sell limit. If I hover it below price, it becomes a buy limit. That's logical because it's pending order. Now at the bottom, you see that circle with the SL inside of it. I'm going to press that right now. And then you see my stop loss pop up. So now I'm just putting in an example of what this would be, right? This trade. So I'm putting in my entry at the right level, and I'm putting in my stop loss at the right level. Now, what's my risk on this trade? Can anyone tell me in the chat, what's the risk, the amount of risk that I'm taking? Yeah, 30 euros and 41 cents. Now, let's say I want to do 20 euros of risk. What am I going to do? I'm not going to click the clock again, because then the whole pending will disappear. I'm gonna click next to it. You have like that rectangle with the red side and the blue one. If I click that, this number will appear. So now I know using the 0.1 lot size, I'm gonna risk 30 euros. Let's say I only want to risk 20. I'm just gonna play around with this 0.08, for example. That's 24. That might be a bit too much. 0.07, that's 21. I want to risk only 20. Okay, cool. Now I have my 0.06, and this is 18 euros of risk. So now I know if my entry, and this is important, guys, if my entry is at the exact line my sell limit is at, and my stop loss is at the exact line my stop loss is at, with this exact lot size, this is the risk that I'm gonna take. If I'm gonna enter it right now, right, this is where price is right now, then I'm still gonna risk 33 euros. That doesn't make sense. So when you're placing this with a live trade, which we will do, we will probably do that somewhere this week to repeat this process. If you're placing this with the right live trade, as you can see, the price already moved. So you want to be pretty fast because right now it's here. In a moment, it can be here. A few seconds later, it can be right there. So you want to, go around, hover with that, play with that. And then when you see the amount of euros that you are willing to risk, now it's 34. Okay, that's not what we want. So let's do a 0.4. Now it's 22. That's still too much. Let's do a 0.3. Okay, 17. Cool. That's what we're willing to risk. And then once that this is lined up and you see that the entry is still good, I will just press the sell button or the buy button on top of the screen. You see sell at the left, buy at the right. If you click that once, you buy or you sell once. Okay? So don't click that 7 times because you will be in 7 sells. And you don't want to do that because then you're risking 7 times your thingy, what you want to risk. Okay? So does this make sense for the new people? Does this make sense how we do that? Yes? Amazing. Amazing. Cool. So what will happen is, I'm not gonna do it right now, but we will do that somewhere this week. Once you click sell, your stop loss will not be placed yet. So once you click sell, it's like clicking the screen. Look, when I click the screen, the whole setup disappears because you were just drawing a setup. You were not taking any action. Once you click sell, the setup will disappear, and then you just have to put your stop loss in place, take profit in place, and you're ready to go. And then you will also see what the exact risk is on the trade that you're then taking, the live trade that you are in. Okay? So that being said, that's basically how you want to place a trade, or that's how I do it. You can still use the scanner with the calculator. You can do all of that. That's perfect. It works. That's what I did for years. Because before this, we used MT4. With MetaTrader 4, you cannot see the exact number that you're going to lose or the exact number that you're going to win. So we used to do that all the time. Right now, we have the luxury of just looking in our broker account and being way faster. Okay? Cool. Now, that being said, I think we can close off this first session because that was actually the goal of this session, to really dive deeper into the plugin, the resources, and how to place a trade. Okay? To give you guys an idea of the topics that we're going to talk about this week, is we're going to talk about what is SIFI. We're going to talk about the 3-step system, how to manage your trades, how to build your own objective trading system. That's basically tomorrow. So tomorrow will be probably a longer call because we got to fit that all in. Then we're going to talk about an objective risk management system, journaling your trades the right way. We're going to do a recap of the week, and we're going to do scaling your accounts. So how to really scale up your accounts. Because I believe if you have an objective trading system and a trading plan, if you know how to do your risk management, and if you know how to scale up and when to scale up your account, then I believe you got everything that you need to really succeed when it comes to trading. Of course, with that comes psychology, and we're not going to go too deep into that this week, but we'll bring it up once in a while. With that comes psychology, but I believe once you get to the theoretical steps so simple that you know exactly what to do, that's what makes it so much easier. The experienced people on the call, they know, right? If you don't know what to do and there is some room for error, the error will appear. If there is some room to think like maybe I should stay in the trade longer, or maybe I should pull my profits earlier, but yeah, this candle is a little bigger than that one, and there is not full clarity, then it's gonna be hard to stick to a plan really, disciplined. Because you're always thinking, you're always in your head. We don't want to think, we just want to trade and make money, right? So we want to have a plan in place before we go and do all of that. Now, what you want to do right now is you want to set up your demo account if you don't have that already. So set up your demo account and go use Blaze, for example. Go use copy and paste of Blaze. It's kicking ass. I'm just saying, like, the results people get from that, they're just basically getting paid for free. It's insane. But the reason I'm saying it's not just to get you paid for free. We're here to learn a skill. The reason I'm saying go and use Blaze is because you want to get familiar with how it works to place a trade. You want to get familiar with how it works to put in that lot size to calculate that risk. Because everything I showed you right now, it's pretty easy, right? To calculate the risk and do all of that. But if you make a little mistake, I see Ashwin on the call, for example. Ashwin, if you make a little mistake and you don't put a 0.01, but you do 0.1, what's going to happen? I see him laughing. I see him laughing. You're not going to be happy, or you're going to be extremely happy. One of both, but both scenarios is not good. Okay, so just a point and a difference in that, is gonna do a lot. Some people want to do 0.01 and they do 1.00. Your account's gonna be gone in a second. Don't do it. Okay. So it's important, everything that we go through, everything that we apply and that we talk about on these calls is to test it at least 10 times for yourself. If we talk about the dark shade arrow, go look for 10 dark shades. If we talk about placing a trade, go place 10 demo trades, right? If we talk about the pullback, the whatever, go back on the charts and study it. And that's maybe what I want to finish with, is the attitude and the intention that you have here. I know we are always taught, or I was always taught at school, like, just show up. You don't need to do whatever. You just be there and then act as if you're paying attention, right? When going to work, you just need to clock in, clock out, and then, do the bare minimum so you don't get fired, and then your boss can pay you the bare minimum so you don't leave. That's for probably 70 or 80% of the people the case. Now, if that's your attitude and your intention here, I'm telling you, it's not gonna work. Don't even watch the full bootcamp this week. The intention here should be you're hungry as a lion to learn a skill. You're hungry to do more work. You're hungry to do another chart. You're hungry to place another trade, a right trade, right? Not just placing a bunch of them. But you're hungry to grow and to learn. Because if you're not, and if you don't have that intention, then it's not going to work. Because there is no one here, for example, Eduardo, there's no one here that's going to tell you, hey, this is where you need to be. There's no one here, Jenna, that's going to tell you, like, okay, you need to be there because otherwise you get fired or whatever. No, everyone is here voluntarily, and it's crazy because it's 100 people on the call at 7:45 in the morning, but everyone is here voluntary. Okay, so this is a volunteers army. That's what we like to call it. That's what this business is. No one needs to do jack, whatever. But those that want to create success, they really need to. Then you want to have the right intention to really grow and really go to it. Okay, so let's rewatch this video over and over and over again. Apply what you learned here, and we'll see each other tomorrow morning, same time, same place for the next one. All right. Thank you guys for being here. See you tomorrow. Let's go.